Is it too soon to even think about using the P word?
No, 100%. I mean, unless you told me the season ended right now, it doesn't mean anything to me. So how we move forward and how we handle our business over the next, 72 hours and then leading into the game on Thursday is what's most important. But love this group, love the opportunity for us to be able to learn, and especially after being able to get the victory that those guys did a good job of.
I don't buy any of that crap. Of course he's thinking about the playoffs. They're about to defy all expectations. Teddy KGB is back. That's the superlative I didn't get to last segment. Because remember, it was 2 years ago, splash in the pot, pay that man his money. They were all in. Here it is. Well done. They don't have any chips to push into the middle of the table, but they got a hell of a hand.
So maybe they're more Matt Damon. What was his name in the round?
I don't know.
Right?
The other guy.
Yeah.
Not Teddy KGB. They're realizing they got a good hand.
Right.
And they pulled some good cards here. And the other hands aren't as good as theirs. And here they are at number 7 on the playoff tree. And of course, they're thinking about it. I got to say something. He's got that tuft of hair in the front that defies all gravity and elements. That game, we didn't mention this last week, that game in Baltimore when it was pouring down rain for 3 hours, that little tuft right there was still sticking straight up.
I think he's got one of those
in the driving rainstorm.
One of those front calyx, right?
It's straight up.
It's like it doesn't go down. I don't think. I don't know.
Straight up.
Right. I don't know. Maybe he has some product
in the rain
there.
for 3 hours.
Yeah.
He's got some damn good product to make it go straight up.
I don't even think product in the rain.
3 hours in the rain in Baltimore.
I think he has
one
of those like calic heads that are just like that in the front there.
I used to have one of those damn things.
Yeah.
Right here.
You had it right there?
Right here.
Yeah.
I tried everything with it. I tried to cut it all the way down at the bottom. Didn't work. It just that weird little flippy thing that wouldn't go away.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, you got a full head of hair. You're doing all right.
But it's mostly
got a
mine.
4-head. You got a 3-head. I mean, so you're
no. It's gone back a little bit. It goes back a little bit.
Your Teddy KGB thing.
Yours is going back a little bit.
It's going back. It definitely is. My son keeps calling me Peyton Manning. That's
good. Calling.
I'm going to go, when we see Peyton Manning one day, because you're going to see him, I'm going to go, hey, my son makes fun of your forehead and does it to me all the time. I'm going to call him out in front of him. I'm going to get him. He keeps calling me, that Peyton Manning forehead you got over there. But the Rams, I mean, what they're doing, McVay, again, you talk about a coach exceeding expectations, right, and being coach of the year candidate, right? He's the guy that needs to be in that conversation.
Coach of the year is going to be so hard this year.
Oh, my gosh. It seems like it's about as hard as ever, right? But they whooped the crap out of the Commanders yesterday. I mean, they really did. This score is actually very misleading. They could have blown them out of the water. Kyron Williams fumbled one time going into score. He fumbled another time kind of when they were driving. That squashed it. But we know this can happen, right? Movement, motions, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, what are they doing? They confuse you. They run all these option routes. Obviously, Washington busts the coverage there. 31's got to continue to follow Cooper Kupp up the seam, but that's why you motion and movement. It confuses communications. Guys forget their rules at the last second. Ooh, we were playing cover 4, but we were taught all week if they motion to this, we want to play cover 3. Oh, no, I forgot my cover 3 rule. It's too late. He's gone. But then them running the football the way they are, I mean, damn. I mean, they're like, we saw last week them just run the ball down the throat of the Baltimore Ravens. Same thing again yesterday. They're one of the better running football teams in the NFL the last 4 or 5 weeks in the league. A lot of credit to the Rams and what they're doing, playing tough. I know Washington hung around, but this is a game the Rams controlled the whole way.
152 rushing yards for Kyron Williams on 27 carries. Cooper Kupp had 111 receiving yards. Demarcus Robinson's been a nice little find for them, too. He had a touchdown and 44 receiving yards, and he had one carry for 23 yards. So, I mean, he's an impact player.
He is.
Nacua. Remember, it was just a mess last year.
Good job to round out the group there.
Everything about them was a mess last year. They had Allen Robinson last year who didn't do anything. Right. Just everything felt lost for the Rams. They were paying the bill for going all in 2021, and now this year, and you and I both believe Sean McVay seriously thought about leaving.
Yep.
Kind of got shamed into staying because guys were like, wait a minute, we thought you were going to be here. Would have taken an escape hatch to a broadcast booth if a seat had been available. No seats were available, or at least would have seriously thought about it. And now it's all working out well for him and the team. Now, I don't know what next year is going to look like because I don't know how long you can hold together this group. but maybe you start
Yeah, a lot of
reloading
young
with some younger
guys.
guys.
They're
They're going to need a quarterback at some point.
Right. That's what, how long does Stafford go, right? He's an old 35, right? For that. But, hey, the where they have changed, and I know I've said this to you, is their D-line's bigger than years past. Their O-line is also bigger than years past. And we're not seeing, remember early in the year, it was like, man, Matthew Stafford, protect yourself. He's getting crushed. Now he's being protected. They run the ball. And for me, I want the Rams in the playoffs. I'm going to just state it right now and say it. I'm a guy, and everybody that's ever listened to me knows this, I want the best 7 teams in the playoffs because it means the best viewing experience for all of us as we watch the playoffs unfold. And for me right now, with the Rams, yes, I think they're one of the 7 best teams in the NFC. They will add to the NFC playoff drama. And like we said a few weeks ago, nobody's going to want to be in the wild card round and go, my gosh, Sean McVay and Aaron Donald and Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp are coming to town. That's going to be scary. That will be. Just like you talk about with Buffalo, if they come into town like that in the AFC. That's who I kind of look at the Rams. They're kind of that in the NFC, and we'll see where this all goes.
Well, and what about – see, it's not going to be 2-7 49ers Rams unless the 49ers blow the 1 seed.
No, it'd be Eagles Rams, right? Or maybe they can get a 6 seed and then go to Detroit, which
that's
would be a great matchup, right?
That's
another
one that would be awesome.
Right.
That's the ideal.
It goes back to Detroit.
Lions don't want that.
Right.
They don't want the Rams coming to town.
They definitely don't.
Although they looked pretty good on Saturday night. We
Yeah.
had games Saturday night we're not going to get to, but the Lions kicked the crap out of a previously hot Broncos team.
Yes, they
and
did.
the Lions reestablished themselves a little bit. The question is, can they keep that going?
I know.
This weekend
You
against
know what
the
else happened on
Vikings?
Saturday?
Yeah, I know.
Took an L, baby.
Yeah, I know. Well, I picked the
maybe
Bengals
they
to
would
win.
have won if you would have picked them.
Yeah, I'm sure that
Damn.
that has influence.
You
over
guys, that was one of those games where they didn't win. You guys lost.
I was flying up here
Yeah.
during that, and I had texting on the plane, so my son was giving me play-by-play,
Right.
and I was able to get Twitter, but I wasn't able to watch the game, and it was just a very frustrating experience.
The 2 interceptions were huge.
Well, the interceptions were huge. The tush-push nonsense
twice in a row.
in overtime.
And you're not a good running football team.
My son cracks me up. He is so...
He's a chip off the old block.
He's worse, if that's possible. He goes back and forth between, boy, Kevin O'Connell needs to coach this team for 50 years too. They got to get rid of him. It's like they're not getting rid of him. They got to get rid of him. He's the problem. He's trying to diagnose who the problem is.
Yeah.
The problem is this guy. The problem is this guy. The problem is this guy. The problem is Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, the GM. Now the problem is Kevin. The problem is this guy. It's always somebody's the problem. It's like you just got to chill and let it play out. But even though they lost, they're still in the 6th seed. They got Lions, Packers, Lions to finish the season, and it's all in front of them. And, they can still win the division.
I
Because
know.
if the Lions lose to the Cowboys
right.
on
they beat the Lions
on New Year's Eve.
Right.
Yeah.
and they win their games.
Yeah, but I don't see this team winning the last 3 games of the year, not the way they played. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.